In this lesson, we're going to be talking about securing your wireless network using WPA or WPA2. WPA is Wi-Fi protected access, and it was actually developed in order to overcome some of the shortcomings with WEP. So, as I mentioned in a previous lesson, WEP has actually been broken. WPA and WPA2 actually don't offer perfect security either. There are cases where you can get the security to be bypassed and broken in some situations. However, it's better than WEP and does provide some stronger security and stronger encryption mechanisms. WPA and WPA2 also use a pre-shared key mode, and that's where you've got a password or a passphrase that the access point and your system use, and they use that to actually generate the encryption keys. In the case of WPA or WPA2, we've got a case where we're using 64 hexadecimal digits or a passphrase of 8 to 63 printable ASCII characters. That's where we use the pre-shared key. Now there's an enterprise mode as well where you can log in using a username and password. In order to join a WPA network, in this case I'm actually going to just walk through joining a network that doesn't exist just to walk you through the settings. And again, this is on Mac OS, but other operating systems are going to be pretty similar. So I want to do a test wireless network, and this is the SSID that we've mentioned previously, and they're calling it the network name here. So you can see I've got a situation where I can select WPA Personal or WPA2 Personal. That would be where we have the pre-shared key. So I can also do WPA Enterprise or WPA2 Enterprise, and if I were to do that, I could put in my username and my password, and then that would authenticate me to the network, and the authentication would be my username and password rather than this pre-shared key. And then the keys for the encryption would actually be generated as needed. I've got WPA and WPA2 Enterprise, and the same thing here, whether I'm using WPA or WPA2, I have the username and password. And if I go back to WPA or WPA2 Personal, now this is where I just put in the pre-shared key. And I can just type in my passphrase here. And again, it can be several characters long. So I could go from 8 to 63 characters here and actually have a reasonably strong passphrase for my wireless network. Again, we've got a situation where we're doing encryption on wireless in order to have a situation that's reasonably similar to a wired network, where without some physical intervention, you can't see what's on that wire. And wireless, given the fact that it's in the air, anybody can grab it without an awful lot of effort if they have the right tools, needs something to protect the transmission. And so we've got WEP as mentioned in a previous lesson, and as I said, that's already been broken. And now we've got WPA and WPA2, which give us some better level of protection for our wireless communications.